Kom an. Så flink gutt. Så flink gutt. Hæ? Skjer? Kom dere vekk fra idioter! Det er ikke en spill, det er en slags ting! Det er ikke virker! Kom dere vekk! Gå. Hei! Hjelp! The movie The Thing from 1982, classic. It managed to capture a great atmosphere in both the sound and visual. And in this video, I'll explain why this game climbed straight to the top of my hidden traitor game. Hey! Dude, get down from there! And as a Norwegian, the movie has a special place in my heart with the opening, with this crazy dude with grenades and running amok, chasing a dog, and then speaks Norwegian. He's clearly not a Norwegian actor, but he makes a very good imitation. And imitation is very important here. So more on that later. Long story short, the Norwegian is shot and to death, and the dog he chased is alive and now safe and sound among us. The dog, not a good boy. In fact, it's not a dog at all. It's some kind of thing. It's almost as if the Norwegian was trying to tell us something. The Thing is an alien entity that can imitate another biological organism perfectly. That's very cool. Do you know what's not so cool though? You know the organism it's copying or imitating? Well, it won't be alive to see it, sadly. The scene is set. An isolated research base in the Antarctic, deadly cold temperatures, great mix of characters, but most importantly, Kurt Russell. A treasure. In The Thing, we are human Americans, and we come to realize something is among us. Now this is a cooperative game where all humans win or lose together. There's a slight problem though. Not all of you will continue as humans throughout the game. Some might be assimilated and join the evil team. And it's an absolute guarantee that one of you is the Thing from the start. This thing, this game, is very close to claiming the throne of my favorite hidden traitor game, Radiostar Galactica. Why, you ask? I'll tell you in a bit, but first, let's just get an overview of the game. The weather is harsh, food is scarce, and paranoia runs deep. You can only trust yourself, but there are ways to figure out who else to trust. Blood! Well, blood samples to be precise. Each person has already taken the blood and put it in cold storage for emergencies, represented by this bag here and tokens. So you take a fresh blood sample from the suspicious humans and compare with the old, and if there's a match, hooray! Safe and sound. If there's not a match though, that actually is a good thing for the humans. To find out who the Thing is early on is key not to waste actions on blind suspicion. You see, in The Thing, the board game, we as a crew need to run around the base and just keep it operating. Up until now, we have done this effortlessly, working together, doing our duties as a team. But now, we want to do it alone. There is no team, at least not one you can trust. And doing things alone is worse than doing together. If you ever work on a task together with another player, that is when the Thing can spread out to other players. And no one will be the wiser. Each player has these 3 tokens. 2 of them show a human with some DNA, and the other, well, not entirely sure how to look at it. This is the Thing. So when you work with someone in a room, there's an encounter. So what you do as a human, you take these 2 human tokens, put them face down in front of you, and other players will take 2 of their tokens and do the same. Now you pick 1 token from another player, look at it secretly, and give it back. If you spotted a human, good for you. if you saw the other graphic, well, congrats, you're on Team Thing now. Just don't tell anyone, okay? Okay, so just never go together with anyone then, I hear you say, right? The game has actually thought of this and has a couple of clever mechanisms to encourage going together. Dogs and cooperation bonus. To understand this, let me show you how a round of the Thing, the board game, is played. We're all gathered here in the leisure room, keeping a close eye on one another. But then, we need to get stuff done. The boiler room needs fixing. The generator needs more fuel. And the radio room is just busted. The base has its own helicopter, but it needs both repairs and fuel. And of course, someone has to go here and prepare our food. To get stuff done, you put your miniature, or standee, the game comes with standees by default, in the room you want to go and give a card to whoever is the leader, identified by this card here. So, what card you played is of course a secret, and it can be one of repair, or use, or the worst one, sabotage. So all players move their figure and play a card to the leader, and the leader goes last. And just to spice things up, we take a random card from the deck and add it to the pile. And we're off to get stuff done. Well, hopefully. Then this small deck is shuffled, and then one card is revealed. A repair. Well, that's convenient because there's a guy in the radio room. So let's just have him use the location and repair it and remove a token. So see where this is going? The card that you played isn't necessarily the action your character will take. He might have played the sabotage or use. And so the card you played is only added to a pool of possible things that will get done. And the leader decides everything. I can even decide to stop drawing more cards in favor of sabotage. You see, when you draw a sabotage, here, you have to assign it to a character and do the bad stuff on that location. That's the law. And sabotage is bad, okay? It will add damage, remove healthy blood samples, remove important weapons or items, and more. It's just awful. So the leader can stop if they want to, but can you trust the leader to make a good decision though? Either way, all the remaining cards, and there's always some remaining cards, at least one in this deck, that aren't played, they will never be revealed and just discarded face down. Now after the first round and forevermore, dogs, these guys, may roam around the base and just be there. It might be the Thing. No one knows, not even the players who is or are the Thing. So let's take one more look at the radio room. To go alone where there's a dog means you have to draw from this doggy bag here. And if you draw this token here, you are also now the Thing. And again, don't tell anyone. So to combat this, you can go together. Yay! If there are two more characters in a room with a dog, the dog is sent to the kennel, wreaking less havoc in the future. And no one draws from the doggy bag. But of course, you still have to look at each other's encounter tokens. There's another good reason to go together. If this character gets a repair card, he can take and repair one token plus one more token for each other standing character in that room. And that is super powerful. It's like an extra action, even maybe two extra actions if there's more characters there. After the leader decides to stop drawing cards, or all players have acted, it's time to meet up at the leisure room. And it's time to accuse and point fingers. Literally. Now, I could go into detail on how all these things work, but that would just take a lot of time. What I want to get through, though, is all the decisions in the game. All the information that's open and how it's extremely well put together. There are so many ways to see the distrust in the game. Like, can you trust the person who's fetching the blood bags? They might find a healthy one and just claim it's bad. Can you trust the person you're cooperation bonus with? Does that person have the keys you need to escape with the helicopter? And you know that that person has a weapon card, but the rules prohibit them from showing it until it's used. What is it? Now, weapons are great. You can threaten people with it and preventing encounters. You know what's even better? A freaking flamethrower. Yeah, that's right. You can torch the place or even torch the thing. Yeah. And then there's the thing phase where you can expose yourself as the thing and just wreaking chaos all over the campus here, going where you want and just either damaging, eating people, growing in strength and just making a big menace of things. And you really need to find all who are real humans. To win as humans, all real humans need to escape, having no real humans behind. Fail to do so, and the thing player is the victor. The difficulty for humans is tremendous. I really like this game, really like it. It captures the theme perfectly and has a ton of interesting choices. I've been surprised many times by who the thing really is, how it's spread, and what actions player took even as real humans. Now, there is a small catch though. The thing can spread in every encounter. It's like 50% chance every encounter. That's a lot. And then a player can use spreading from that, making it likely that most players will become the thing over the course of the game. Which brings me to the problem. To win, you just need to join team the thing, right? And the answer to that is don't. Just don't. Sure, per definition of the rules, that is how you win the game. Whenever I play this game, I always make sure that we agree on one thing. Unless you start out as the thing, try your best, your very best, to win as human. That is the only true victory for players starting off as humans. If you can't adhere to this social contract, then I don't think this game is for you. However, if all players agree on this, it will be a blast for every involved parties. The Thing, the board game, supports 4 to 8 players. At 4 players, the game is a whole different matter than with 8. There's a lot more information going on, and of course less encounters, but also less stuff to get done each round. With 8 players, there's a lot of encounters, but also plenty of things that all players are able to do. I've enjoyed the game in all those player counts. The box even has rules for playing with 1 to 3 players. Now, this will be a full cooperation mode with 0 traitors, so I can't recommend this as a co-op. But as a pure solo experience, I will recommend it. The best comparison I can think of is Spirit Island. So you can play it cooperatively using only 1 spirit, but you wouldn't. If you would though, then you might actually give this one a chance. So they actually pulled it off. It's a hidden traitor game that can be played solo, and it's fun. Of course, there is no deception in the solo mode, but you still need to figure out among all your characters who the thing really is. But there are so many other interesting choices in this solo mode to make now, and it's a great puzzle adventure. Do you know of any hidden traitor games that play well solo? I'd really like to know, so please let me know in the comments below. Finally though, how does it compare to my all-time favorite, Radiostar Galactica? First off, it's shorter, like a lot shorter. Where Battlestar can take like 5 to 6 hours, the Thing will last 60 to 90 minutes, even with 8 players. Now the Thing works great even with 4 players, where BSG I would probably want 6 or 7 players, no less. The rules are much simpler and makes sense, and the let's play one more time factor is through the roof. But the characters in the Thing aren't really interesting. In Battlestar Galactica, you have characters with very specific powers, but also a setback, making the character feel special. Like Leah Dama here. It says, after you use an executive order thing, it's like a card you have, you can also activate the room you're in. So this one says you can use a card that makes another player do an action, and you still get to do your thing. Like, why wouldn't you do that? In the Thing here, it's different. Also, it has a one-time per game opportunity that can just do something else than the game would otherwise permit. Also, he has a moral dilemma. So there's something special about him. Moral dilemma, okay. So when he draws a mutiny card, he has to discard cards from his hand. So you understand already that, okay, he's a character with loyalty or something that's a strong connection to the law. So when he does something wrong, it doesn't feel so great for him. So there's something there. In the thing, you get a bonus action for an existing action. So here, instead of 2 cards, you draw 3 cards when collecting a weapon. That's it. Will the thing dethrone by Battlestar Galactica? Short answer, no. Will the thing see more plays than Battlestar Galactica? Absolutely. Battlestar has a special place in my heart, but its sessions are reserved for those special occasions like conventions or cabin trip with my gamer friends. The thing, it can be brought to any game night. And with support for up to 8 players, where it's still fun, it can't really get better than that. As for components, I have of course painted my miniatures. The minis are an add-on and will replace the perfectly fine cardboard standees. So I would not, however, get the miniatures for the thing creature. They're cool, sure, but you never use them. You actually use these tokens here instead, indicating their strength 1 and 2. Other than that, great components. Fuel barrels, gasoline tanks, spam tokens, and more. I also have acrylic tokens like this one, and the damage tokens, but it's hardly necessary. Do I recommend the thing? Abso-freaking-lutely. With the caveat about playing to win the game by technicality. Don't be that guy. And yes, I also do have the Norwegian Outpost expansion for this, still unplayed. It replaces a lot of the elements, so I'm just not ready to switch it up yet. Have you tried it? What did you think of it? Now, thank you so much for sticking with me to the end. I hope you learned if this is for you or not. So make sure you're subscribed and like this video, of course. And if you click the bell icon, you get notified whenever I get my rare in gear and publish a new video. Okay? See ya! I would want to be ya. I'm the thing and trying to assimilate you. Okay? Yeah, the joke is bad, I know.